Everyone. So, if you thought Invincible had already shown you its peak power levels, season 4 completely shatters that idea. The stakes are higher, the fights are more brutal, and for the first time, it genuinely feels like no one is safe. With looming threat of the Ultramite Empire, every character has been pushed beyond their limits, and some are proving they are more dangerous than we ever expected. Starting with Oliver, the youngest Grayson, he might not be the strongest yet, but his growth is honestly kind of terrifying. Being half Traxxon and half Ultramite, he developed his powers incredibly fast and already proved himself by taking down serious threats like Mauler twins with ease. He's still not on Mark's level, but the potential is clearly there, and that alone makes him one to watch. Then there's Lucan, who is basically the definition of a relentless warrior. Even after suffering devastating injuries, he kept fighting and even managed to seriously damage Nolan. That kind of durability and sheer willpower makes him one of the toughest Viltrumites we have seen so far. He doesn't get a ton of spotlight this season, but when he does show up, you are reminded just how dangerous he really is. Anissa is another character who barely needs screen time to feel like a massive threat. From the moment she was introduced, it was clear she operates on a completely different level. She's calm, controlled, and brutally efficient in combat. Even among Ultramites, she stands out, and there are very few characters who could walk away from a fight with her. But one of the biggest surprises in terms of growth has to be Alan the Alien. He started off feeling almost comedic, but now he's arguably one of the most important players in the entire story. After his enhancement, he's strong enough to go toe to toe with Ultramites and actually injure them. And with Scorch Virus potentially in play, he might end up being the key to stopping them altogether. Battle Beast remains one of the most intimidating fighter in the series, even with limited screen time this season. He lives for combat, and when he finally faces a worthy opponent, it's absolute chaos. He's already proven he can go up against Viltrumites, and it feels like the only thing holding him back is the lack of opportunity to truly unleash his full strength. Atom Eve is a really interesting case this season because she is not at full power. Her abilities have been incredibly versatile and potentially overpowered, and even while weakened, she managed to hold her own in critical moments. Once she is fully recovered, she could easily become one of the strongest characters in the entire series. Then there's Mark Invincible himself. He came a long way from the inexperienced hero we saw in season 1. He's tougher, more skilled, and far more resilient, but season 4 makes it clear he still hasn't reached the top tier yet. He survived fights that should have killed him, but against the strongest Viltrumites, he's still struggling to keep up. Lonel, on the other hand, reminds us why he is such a terrifying force in the first place. Even after everything he's been through, he's still one of the most powerful characters in the show. His experience, strength, and combat instincts put him above most fighters, though even he isn't quite at the very top anymore. Craig operates a bit differently. He's not always on the front lines, but when he is, you can see why he's second in command. His strength is matched by his tactical mind, and his experience as one of the oldest Ultramites make him incredibly dangerous. He's the kind of character who doesn't need constant action to feel like a major threat. And then there's Thrag, the one who stands above everyone else. He isn't just strong; he's on an entirely different level. As the Grand Regent of the Ultramite Empire, he represents the absolute peak of what their species can achieve. No one has been able to truly challenge him, and even combined forces haven't managed to do any real damage. Season 4 only gives us glimpse of his full power, which honestly makes him even more intimidating. At this point, the big question isn't who is strong, it's who even stands a chance. Because if season 4 proves anything, it's that the gap between the strongest and everyone else is massive. And with Thrag at the center of it all, the road ahead for Mark and other looks more dangerous than ever. Thank you for watching. Bye.